Well, I warned you it's not going to be a build series, and it's not, because I've made a lot of progress on Smokey 2. Let me show you. First, most obviously, is this windshield cover, form fit to the Ford Transit. You got matching ones for the side windows as well. Also these cool little vents, one on each side, and yeah, it's pretty good ventilation. Speaking of which, got a Max Air fan in the back. My idea is with the Max Air in the back and those side vents in the front, I should be able to get decent ventilation from the front to the back and not necessarily need a second roof vent like I put on this van. But we'll see. If I don't need the fourth solar panel, I could put a second roof vent in anyway. That's why I'm not putting the fourth solar panel on, so I have the option to do either. But moving on. So here at the back of the van, rather unobtrusively, we have my shore power connection. In the plastic of the bumper, the wiring just goes up through a grommet underneath. I did not have to put holes in metal to install this, which is also the case for my trailer hitch. That bolted on, and the wiring just went right into. Speaking of solar, I've got these Rhino racks up there, plus some L-channel ready to accept 3 200-watt solar panels. That's going to give me 600 watts of power to start, and like I say, I have room in the front to add an additional one if I need 800 watts. I bought 2 new panels, and I'm taking the one that I used sitting on the ground next to my van last winter, and that one is getting bolted to the roof as well. The 2 new ones are identical, so all 3 of them will connect together and give me 600 watts of solar. All right, it's a mess inside, but hey, this is real life, so. And it also helps if I unlock it. Check this out. Wow, I'm gonna have to get used to that. So, bit of a mess under construction. Let's start with the insulation. Polyiso, where the windows would go, as well as all up and down the roof, combined with Havelock wool in the upper and lower walls, and also under here a little bit because it's just such a pain to make that curve. Also got curtains in the back. There's a curtain that goes in the side window, and also a curtain here. This curtain rod fits perfectly into this foam here. So yeah, I won't necessarily have to cover up all the windows in the front when I'm trying to stealth park. I can just shut the curtain and call it good. My electrical system is starting to come together. I've got, of course, my 2 SOK batteries, 200 amp hours apiece, charge controller for my solar panels, which I have not installed yet, but it's already running my fuse box for all of my house electric. Got my shore power connection there. And I swapped my Renogy charger over from the old van. I'm not using it for solar anymore, but I'm still going to use it for alternator charging. And I'm getting almost 700 watts of charging out of it, the full 50 amps of charging that this can handle, because the vehicle battery is right there under the seat. So I have an extremely short run of wire and almost no loss. But here's a real party piece. The bed. This is actually from my uncle's cargo trailer. He built this years ago to put in his cargo trailer to go hunting and camping in the woods. He hasn't done that in a long time. He has an actual camper now. So he gave me this. And here's the other best part. So I move this. I'm still figuring out where this will all go, but anyway, if I move this, this is hinged. This folds up against the wall. This is hard to do one-handed, and it clips in. Remove a couple of bolts, And this folds down flat as well. So basically, I've got myself a Murphy bed. So with the bed in place, which as you can see, I've kind of made into a little sofa, I can figure out the rest of my interior. I have a kind of a combination table sink thing that's going to go right here, overlapping the door a little bit with the sink. It's actually a fish cleaning table, so, but that gives me a sink, so that's pretty cool. Composting toilet's going to go away in the back corner, just like I have it in that van. I think I'm going to have some kind of a table here, kind of a desk, make this a little bit of a work area. Up here, well, across from the counter and the sink, I'm going to have a bit more storage for kitchen type stuff. And then all along these walls are these nice threaded holes. I think I'm going to put some shelves up on the upper part of the wall, and that'll just be even more storage for stuff and things. So what's left before I hit the road? Quite a bit. I have to physically install the solar panels up top and run the wiring down to the charge controller. Once the electrical's in, that is when I get to do the interior decoration. I'm probably going to go ahead and put some panels up over this section. It'll help contain the wool, keep it all in. I can get some 2x4 panels pretty cheap to just bolt in there and call it good. Again, using those pre-threaded holes that come in the side of the Transit. So that'll work. I'll put some shelves up there, and for starters, I'm just going to do plastic storage bins and drawers, and maybe add another folding table or two, just to get myself going. Very little is going to be nailed down to start. Now, I don't know what I want my interior layout to look like in the end, but we're getting closer to that point. Once I start getting the storage and things like that, that is when I can literally start moving into this van. Most of my stuff's still in the old van. I've moved some inside the house because, well, I'm living in there while I'm doing this transition process, but we're getting there. And once the electrical system's wrapped up, and once I get a little bit of wallboard up, I'm going to be at that point, and that's really exciting. So what are my plans once it's done? Well, I was still planning to do a big loop of the country. That is still the plan. I might not spend quite as much time on the road as I had planned or make as many stops, but I'm still going to go up to New Hampshire. I've still got a storage unit up there to get rid of, and people to see, and parents to show this shiny new van off to. But yeah, I'll do that. Still going to head out to the Rocky Mountain Roll in August, probably to visit people in Oregon from there, and then back to Arizona for next winter. So it's still the same plan, just the timing's a bit off. I am really behind my original schedule. I plan to be out of Florida by now, but what schedule? I'm not really on a strict schedule, so this is fine. Okay, this is a lot more than just fine. This is freaking amazing, right? Yeah, I thought you'd think so.